Prime Minister Philip Davis coming under fire from former Governor-General Sir Arthur Foulkes, who was also a founding member of the Free National Movement. He says he's disappointed that the nation's leader would continue an untrue narrative that the FNM walked out of the Constitutional Conference held in London ahead of the country's 1973 independence.
I would expect some exaggeration in politics and people to take liberties sometimes with the truth. Sometimes you can let it slide, and then sometimes again, when a matter of principle is concerned, you have to deal with it, right? And all of us contributed to building this country. All of us made sacrifices.
It's a narrative that's been ongoing for decades now. He's surprised that the Prime Minister would continue the disappointing trend.
I've heard the rumor before, this allegation before. I heard it from Loftus. It had been printed in the paper, and Mr. Mitchell. But I really didn't expect it from the Prime Minister, and that upset me.
Sir Arthur says the floor is still open for the Prime Minister to offer a public apology.
The Prime Minister ought not to let that stand. That's the thing. He is in a position where he could put an end to this.
He says the notion that the FNM has never supported independence or would walk out on its duties ahead of independence is unfair.
Not just to me so much, but to the others. To Sir Orville, Kendall Isaacs, who was an honorable man, one of the most honorable men I have known in my life, that he would abandon his duty? That's unthinkable.
Sir Arthur says the FNM and PLP representatives all signed the signature page on the first draft of the report drawn at the Constitutional Conference in London, and says he can prove it.
The conference went on over time, so it went on longer. And so the reservations that were made for us to come back home were not kept. So now the British government had to scramble to find reservations to get all of us back home. And it lists all the times when we were supposed to go. But some of us came back on that flight. Clement Maynard came on that same flight with us. So what did he do? Did he abandon as well?
And catch this, Sir Arthur says Sir Lyndon Pinling left the same day as he did.
Some people in politics have this idea that they'll pin something on you, true or not, and if they repeat it often enough, people will believe it. And so they're satisfied with that, but that's not my kind of politics.
Will the Prime Minister issue a public apology on his comments and bring an end to what Sir Arthur says is a lie? We will just have to wait and see. Theo Seeley, Eyewitness News.